Hey guys. So, here I am. My last recording in Georgia. I've made my choice. After much consideration, it's time for me to step into my new chapter, and I'm moving on, and I've decided that my next phase is back up in New England. So I'm headed back up there. Probably for good this time. We'll see. You never know with me, you know? But, yep, I made my choice, and, honestly, I'm already gone. By the time you guys hear this, I'll already be up there. And so I'm grateful because my guide's given me downloads after download after download for episodes for the podcast so that I was able to, record them and still live in my reality and do the things that I need to do to get where I need to be. So I'm grateful. I'm really grateful. And it got me thinking about, choices in life and things like that. And I started thinking about how we feel sometimes in the aftermath of those choices. And so today I'm going to touch on one of those feelings. And today I'm going to talk about regrets. Now, I like to embrace the way of life where I don't focus on regrets. No regrets, right? But, that's not to say that I've not ever felt that old feeling we get around those times when we feel at a loss of some kind. The feeling of we should have or shouldn't have done what we did. See, I used to be ashamed of my actions where I felt those regrets until I started understanding the need for healing in my world. Once I began to understand what and where I myself needed help healing, then I was able to view those past quote-unquote regrettable experiences for what they really were. The universe, or my higher self even, trying to get me to change what was not working for my life, or my way of life, and for who I truly was at my core. See, what I have come to know was that we always have a choice. Always. But sometimes we fail to see all the choices. And the reason we fail to see them, guys, is we don't have all the context. We don't have all the knowing around what we need. And that's when the actions we take cause us to regret. We look back and still can't see the context. But now we wish we would have waited to learn what that context was. Yeah? And so often what happens is that regret, it will push us, right? It'll push us to look beyond our initial actions, seek out that context around why we chose what we did or didn't. The feelings behind them, that is what is important here. And when we do open up to why those feelings are there, we will be pushed by the universe to our absolute fucking breaking point. But even in that point of no return, right, we start to learn that there is still a choice. And the choice is this. Will you continue to sit in this regret and let it consume you? Or will you take hold of that energy, mold it into something else, something that brings you into a more positive, powerful position? Only you can create your own reality. So it's super important that in these moments where you find yourself looking back with possible regret, that you are self-aware enough to know your truth. Because if you're not, what will happen is that you will allow yourself to listen, once again, to many outside influences. And these often will try to keep you in that old holding pattern. And what you will find is that you keep reliving those old regrets. All because you're not choosing what speaks most clearly to you. You are choosing what others are speaking about and trying to people please. But, I don't know, isn't it kind of foolish of us to strive to please all those other people when we know that deep down, the main person in our life, ourselves, is constantly displeased when we look back and find ourselves doing this over and over and over? That's why we have the feeling of regret. We're not pleasing the right person. And the right person is always going to be ourself first. And that's a big holding pattern we have to break out of. We can't worry about what those outside of us will think or feel about what we choose for our best life. I mean, they won't live with our regrets, only we will. So why do we keep choosing what we assume others want? I know that was a big epiphany on my part. Truly it was. Because I believe that powerful change comes directly from clear communication. And honestly, one of the hardest things I've had to come to terms with is that oftentimes in my own life, I wasn't clearly communicating with my own damn self. Yeah, I heard my inner voice and my gut feelings, sure. But I really wasn't open to listening to them as I should have been at those times in my life. And it's because the outside world is very good at getting us to dull down to fit into these molds. And I, for one, finally freed myself from those limitations. When I realized that I, just like you, I was never meant to fit where life felt dull in any way, no matter what the masses thought about it. No matter if it didn't feel dull to anyone else. If it did to me, then that was my cue to get going. Fucking GTFO, right? I found that when we can honor whatever came before, no matter whether we absolutely fucking loved every minute of it or not, but if we can honor that it just was, we choose how that shapes us instead of letting it shape us how it chooses. Yeah? We can only grow when we allow this to be true. We become more vibrant. We become our own life force. I mean, think about it like this. Imagine yourself as a kid again, and you're all fucking pumped because you're sleeping over at a new friend's house tonight. You lucky little shit. And you get there, right? And it's all fun and games until it's time to go to bed. Yeah. Well, maybe you go to bed just fine, right? But you awake in the middle of the night, like you have to use the bathroom or some shit. And you open the door to step out of your friend's room and are greeted with a very dark and unfamiliar hallway. And, you're normally calm and cool and are fine with the dark, right? But this time, you're finding that you're feeling a little nervous. A little scared, maybe? And you look back at your friends sleeping and wonder if you should wake them. And of course, you fucking decide against it. You don't want them to think you're scared or a big baby. So, you swallow against that lump in your throat and proceed into the unknown darkness. Now, this speaks to what I'm getting at because the only reason you felt unsure was because that was an unknown hallway for you. It wasn't the dark or anything like that. It's just that hallway wasn't familiar. And the reason you didn't want to wake your friend was because to them, that hallway is the norm. And they wouldn't be able to understand why you felt the way you did. This is how we act in our day-to-day decisions when we allow the outside world to influence our moves. In this scenario, you push through on your own and ventured out into the dark, unknown hallway. When you went within and clearly communicated with yourself, you took back your power and used it to step forward. Probably so you didn't pee your pants, huh? But you get what I mean, I hope. And the truth is, okay, and those experiences where we are at first stuck in like an in-between, once we choose, we won't have that feeling again. Like, the kid won't be fearful next time sleeping somewhere new because the kid dealt with the emotions around what was causing the stuck feeling by clearing his thoughts and then took action that best suited him, not only in that moment, but in any similar moments moving forward. That's how we expand, my friends. That's how we shift into timelines that are more balanced and beneficial for us as individuals. Do you see? It's the way we grow, by outgrowing limiting aspects of our physical world. And we do it by embracing the expansive aspects of our own spiritual and mental and energy worlds, by clicking into our own clear inner communications, by listening to our higher self, our inner guidance. I mean, if we hold back our own inner truths from our own damn selves, then how the hell can we ever expect to know and present any truth to the world around us, to those important to us? We can't. We can't lie to ourselves and attempt or even pretend that we're being truthful outside of ourselves. I guess that's the realest moment of truth, yeah? When you fully acknowledge and accept knowing your own. I've learned that if you feel it, you need to own it, say it, do it. It's the only way those regrets won't keep coming back around you guys. The only fucking way. Otherwise, you will continue to sacrifice your own truth, your own needs, over and over again, to try to live the truth you think others want from you. And guys, I'm begging you, stop doing that. Please. Live for your own truth because that's the life you want. Your life is not meant to be lived for the outside world. It's meant to be lived for yourself. And it doesn't make you an asshole. No. What makes you an asshole is denying your truth, so you keep lying to yourself, trying to live up to false truths from outside of you, and then your higher self finally gets so fucking pissed off, right, about being told to shut the fuck up all the time. And because of that, living lie you're focused on through your emotions, you start acting like a dick. Hey, truth hurts sometimes, but it is what it is. Our emotions show us more than just our own thoughts. They actually reflect back what the culture around us views as healthy or toxic. But, see, our higher self knows our truth. But our physical self tries to ride along with the emotions of the collective. I don't remember who said it, but I know I read it once and I'm thinking of it now. But someone said that emotions are not just noise. Emotions are data for how we deal with ourselves and how we cope within our culture and societies. And damn, if I had realized this in my fucking 20s, holy fuck, I would be a lot different now. But hey, I realized it nonetheless, and for that, no matter my current age, thank you. I am truly grateful. Forever grateful, honestly. I lost my train of thought. Where were we? Oh yeah, not being a dicky little asshole and lying to yourself. Because guys, when you own your own truth, it also snowballs, okay? Just like lies, but it snowballs in a good way, a true way. And it makes you wonder why the fuck you waited so long to try. But hey, please don't take me at my word. Put the lesson to the test and see how it works. I urge you to. But you have to own all that you desire. Navigate to what you're moving towards, okay? And you will have to push through any feelings of uncertainty, feelings of doubt, right? But don't get discouraged when you feel those feelings, okay? Don't worry, because what it means is that you are stepping through to your new, better timeline. I mean, when we start to step off the track, okay, the ego realizes it and tries to prove that the known track we are on is safest and we should stay. But we have to let the ego know it's not in charge. And that while we thank it for its protection in the past, we've grown. And we got this now because we know our own truth. We know the outside doesn't affect us anymore. So the hurt we previously felt by stepping off track will no longer be a factor for us. And we continue to move forward. And we continue to feel in order to know. Trust that your intuition will give you the best step when it's aligned with your best interests and when you're listening to your own truth. Empower yourself and watch what fucking happens. You will start to feel like you're always on the right track. And you will start to trust that. And that is a very important part of not allowing regrets to hold you back. Again, the right places, people, and jobs, whatever, will always be there. Even if the way they come around is taking a little longer than we would like them to. Hey, I didn't make up divine timing, so don't blame my ass. But I have learned to start accepting it. I have. At the end of it all, we're here to live our lives, not regret our lives. And if you haven't been living up until this point, no worries. You still can. Remember, we always have a choice. Always. I'm reminded of this story I saw once about a woman, probably in England somewhere, I think, who became feral. Like she built herself a home in nature, used the river water, and like cooked over a fire, like in the middle of her floor, yeah? And some reporter decided to go and interview her and said to her, "Isn't it inconvenient, though, having to light a fire every day just so you can have some tea?" And the woman looked at him and smiled back and said, "Isn't it inconvenient for you to work 8 hours a day just so you don't have to light a fire?" Fucking boom. Feral lady mic drop. Choice. It's always a choice. So where will you allow the choices in life to guide you? Down a street full of regrets or up a hill of happiness honoring your own path? Choose wisely, my friends. Please choose wisely. I don't know. So the way I see it, being termed quote-unquote normal isn't all it's cracked up to be. It seems to me that that way of life kind of lacks a sense of courage, doesn't it? So what I'm saying is keep pushing past the limiting outer world point of view and honor the path you know you want to follow. No, I guess that's all for now. Forward steps, no regrets. Forward steps, no regrets. Hey, I like that. And you know what? Always be faithful to that which resides inside you. Even if it appears too hard at times. Remember, if there wasn't pressure in this world, there would be no diamonds. If there wasn't friction, we would have no pearls. Just as in nature, all beauty we see first in life bears some pain before it can be seen. So just keep living your truths and allow the beauty of life to come to and through you. Yeah. And you know what? I will talk to you all later. Bye.